Well, greetings, Internet. We hope you are all well. Hello, Mr. George.
Hello, Chris.
How's he going?
Oh, a little to the left, a little to the right, A bit.
All good. Well, some of you may be thinking, crikey, we're looking light on the ground today. Well, we are, I'm afraid. Due to some scheduling problems, our guest is not going to be attending. It's probably due to my fault, but that's one of those things. So instead, this evening, a bit of a reschedule. Good evening to my lovely wife. We're going to change the scheduled programming and just have a good old chinwag about some games this evening, guys. Let's face it, we're a board game channel, so we've got plenty we can talk about because, crikey, I've had some cracking games just recently. And we've had some
Yes,
really good ones come to us for review, which I'm really chuffed about.
indeed. I may have to send the wifey on a square hunt of the house to start digging them out of the various piles of games that was accumulating.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I've got the important thing that I want to talk about. That's next to me right here, right now, because ironically, it came through the post today, which is kind of exciting. But I'm not going to go straight into that.
I think I know what that is. I think my copy arrived too.
Yes. Do we talk about that now?
Why not?
It's up to you. Why not? Okay. So for any of you board game fans out there who may have received this in the post today as well, but we have too, is the new copy of Senate. This beautiful games magazine is here and it's in my hands, and I'm kind of being nice to it. I want to look after it because I don't want to damage its spine. It's lovely. The lads at Dan Jolin and the lads and ladettes, I believe, have all done some cracking jobs with some of the articles that are in here this month. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone too much. We're not going to talk about the in-depth reviews and write-ups that they've had on a few things, but just a few things that have cropped to mind. Evil Cause made it in here, and we reviewed it not that long ago, so I'm quite chuffed to see what they have to say about that. As well as a few other nitty-gritty little bits and pieces that I really wasn't already aware of, which is always nice, because let's face it, you want to be surprised when it comes to reading content in a brand new magazine. So I don't know about everyone else.
There's always something in Senate that I love to talk.
As well as the awesome artwork that's in here as well. The artists they have are phenomenal, and each one is a little jewel to read. Hence, I want to keep them in the best nick and I can. It makes total sense. That each one's like a piece of art. It's lovely.
Yeah, they are totally beautiful. So there's always something in there that you just love to get your hands on. It's like something new and brilliant. And I love Senate. I think it's an amazing read. And unfortunately, due to a coffee spillage, we've had to rebuy a couple of our issues because we weren't prepared to have non-pristine copies on the shelf.
No, exactly. And good evening, Janine. It's nice to have you on the show. I hope you're enjoying it, having a great evening. At the moment, we're talking about Senate magazine. If you haven't seen this, which is a board games magazine, which might be something nice if you haven't already got a subscription. I do urge people out there to go check it out. It is a very good magazine, and it's not too unreasonable for the cost, really, when you think about it.
No, not when you consider everything you get in it. There's a reason why pretty much everyone on the crew has a subscription.
Yeah, we've all got a subscription to this. It's great. I mean, one of the other things that's made it in here, which really does look interesting, is Crash Octopus. I really like the look of this. It's been one on my radar a little while back, so I'm looking forward to reading about that one. I mean, we're getting sent stuff, constantly, and we've just about got through the backlog of games, haven't we? We're not doing too bad.
We're doing all right. We're working our way down the list. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we're getting more out than getting in.
Well, interestingly enough, we're already booked for UK Games Expo next year, which is fantastic. It's nice to get that on the roster so we can get all organised and planned. We've got several things coming up as well. We're even organising a charity event that's going to be coming very soon. We know how us at Darrell and Geek like to support charities. Well, in the next month or so, you should be seeing a few posts about a board games event that we're going to be helping run here in Lincoln in hand with Geek Retreat of Lincoln, and we're going to be raising awareness and raising funds for Dementia UK. So do watch out for that, guys, because it should be a fantastic event. You get opportunity to play lots of board games and hopefully maybe even win some prizes. So if any of our fellow sponsors out there would like to donate a copy for the competition, then please do reach out, drop us a message, and we will happily accept some prizes, which we would love to give away at the event. But like I say, more will come soon. There you go, and a link's even been placed on there already for you, so you're aware. Thank you very much, Mr. George, for doing that.
Oh, you know me.
Yeah, ever the great admin. So yeah, so we've got that coming. What else have we got coming up? I'm hoping it's not really board game related, but I'll mention it anyway for anyone out there that's also a geek. I will be going to Destination Star Trek this coming November, which is very exciting. I get to geek out and finally get my last autograph for my Voyager canvas, because I am missing B'Elanna Torres from it. So hopefully I'll be able to get that. But if you're anywhere,
at the risk of stealing your thunder from Riker's beard, because inevitably you're going to talk about this again on there at some point soon.
Yes, of course.
How many years have you been waiting to get that signature?
I've been waiting for that signature for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if any of you aren't aware, I do help out sometimes with the Riker's Beard podcast and live show. They like me having me over there, and I like watching. It's a great show. And if you're into Star Trek, do go check out Riker's Beard. It's a great watch. They're a funny crew, and yeah, they have a right laugh with it. It's brilliant. You know, they don't take them too self-seriously. It's a nice, light-hearted show. So if you like our light-hearted show, then you'll like their light-hearted show as well.
Definitely.
But anyway, back to board games. One thing I did want to mention to you, because my board game cupboard's empty because we're starting to pack. We're starting to pack away because we're going to be moving home. Soon I will no longer be living in Lincoln, which is a real shame, but we will still always be Diary of a Lincoln Geek. That won't change.
You're Lincolnshire Geek.
I'm a Lincolnshire Geek, yes. So, yeah. But no, some of the games that are in that cupboard are now all packed away and in storage, which is a shame. But things have to be done.
They do indeed. So again, if you see some minor changes around, and there might be some wee changes to some of the schedules, as you know, and sometimes life gets in the way. But you know, all for the better. It means we'll have some much more dedicated space to produce even more goodies for you.
Exactly. You know, and goodies and little snippets and of what's to come are always useful. So do make sure you keep an eye on that all-important website, guys, because we even post stuff outside of the regular Friday things. I mean, for example, the brand new podcast is absolutely live as of yesterday. We had a great chat with the chaps from Megapulse, Orion Games, Nicholas, about their new game. Yeah, Nicholas, it was a great chat. And the game looks absolutely fantastic. It's coming. This is testing my memory now. 28th of October, or was it the 26th of October? 26th. I wasn't far off for their Kickstarter. So check that out. Megapulse is definitely worth one to look at. If you like the look of, or ever liked the racing games like Mario Kart, or oh my God, Tron. And light cycles and that kind of racing thematic game, then Megapulse is definitely one for you. Especially if you even like Wipeout on the PlayStation, they've really captured the emphasis of it, and it's visually gorgeous, it's so bright and colourful, and really modular as well. But you can learn more about that by listening to the podcast. So I'm not going to spoil that for anyone who's not listened to it yet.
And if you want some more information on the game, check out the website, which is just up on screen now.
Exactly. So yeah, we've had that come out, and yeah, it's just been absolutely busy as anything since we come back from Expo. Really has.
Yeah, I'll say I've got a stack of games at the moment. I'll say we've just got the review for Districts coming out soon, which was one of the award winners from the Expo.
Yep.
For Judges Award for Best Abstract Game. Bit of an interesting one. basically where you're playing as competing political factions to try and take over the fictitious 51st American state. Basically, it's a game. I say to teach people about gerrymandering and things like that, but I think it's more to highlight how wrong it is and things like that. How easy it is to manipulate the system if you know what you're doing. But it's a really interesting little game. I think check out the review on the website. It should be, if it's not live now, it should be going live this week.
Isn't it? I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? It's our Friday release, isn't it?
I'm sure it's tomorroh.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's being released tomorrow.
So if you aren't subscribed,
if you aren't subscribed to the website and you want to get a notification of when the new reviews come out, then that's the way to get them. Subscribe and you'll get a notification, which is all important. Now, my wife's made an important point. She's actually backed her very first Kickstarter, which she's really excited about. Of course, it's only just completed, or whether it's still going. I think it might still be going. It's a doggy themed game. You remember the name of it, George? It's gone from my head right now.
Yeah, I'm just searching for it on Kickstarter.
It's gone from my head.
It's like Dog Park.
Dog Park, yes. So if you haven't seen that, you can check out Dog Park. That it looks like another kind of Euro style type game, engine based game, but involving dogs and walking them, and basically it's just beautiful. The artwork's really nice. I've got to remind everyone that, of course, we are a show where you can engage with us. So if you are online and watching and you've got any questions or you want to talk to us about any of the games that you've been playing at home, then please do, because that's what we like to talk about. But yeah, no, Dog Park looks good. Do we have any images to hand, George, or not? Or
give my poor little country connection a chance.
No, it's fine. It's all good. But no, you can check that one out. This is basically going to be a show of us talking about different Kickstarters and games that are coming soon. Hopefully, going to be coming to fruition very soon. I mean, I myself have finally, the Kickstarter for Stop, Drop, and Roll and their Earth Rising has finished now. And hopefully, that they managed to get over 200%, which is absolutely incredible. So well done to our friends over there, Laurie and Ree. You've all done a cracking job. It looks great, and I can't wait to physically get the actual copy that we're going to be donating to a school, because that's what we said we'd do, and that's what we're doing. So that should be good. What else? What else have been going on?
Oh, well, I think there's just been so much with so many of the ones people we've been working with lately, like Martin with Snapshot, and say their Kickstarter is absolutely stormed. It's out the gate. They're already having to make new stretch goals. Yeah,
they are. Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, they've been on and we've chatted to them quite regularly. But yeah, no, Snapshot is a very good game. The review is actually live on the site as well, so you can check that out as well. But I swear so far on this show I've probably mentioned the website half a dozen times more than I would normally.
Which is saying something.
I know, but this is what happens when
plug.
I know, but when I've messed up our guest, it is my fault. And I'll freely admit it, and I'm going to be so apologetic to Steve because he's going to get up and he would have missed it by an hour because I thought we'd gone back to not being GMT +1, but we still are, and I said GMT. So yeah, he's getting up in an hour's time and we'll have missed the show. So I'm really sorry, Steve.
He might still appear in time. Who knows?
Dear me, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to, at the moment. I've just started receiving some of the many Kickstarters that I backed during the pandemic. So the first of them have started to arrive. That I've finally got some of them. You might remember Sisyphus Core.
Yes, I do. One of our first guests on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say
One min.
Yeah, had that lovely beauty delivered. So, and as ever, keeping up with all the pretense all the way through it, and even using fake HR letters as packing material. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little concept. I like that idea. Using fake letters and CVs and stuff. It's brilliant. Who doesn't
Yeah.
like a good giggle when they open up a package?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
I say Streets arrived not too long ago as well. So for those that remember Dave from last month from Sinister Fish,
Yep.
I say that's brilliant. I've got about 5 more that are coming for the end of the year. Nuts.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
they'll
I mean,
all eventually make it onto the site because we love our games.
exactly. And the thing is, we don't often back the same games. We try to actually talk about the games we're backing. So we don't all end up having the same things and, never actually playing each other's copies. But the one game that we've all broken that rule for is Snapshot.
I think there's going to be another one that will do it for too.
Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, no, it's going to be Steph and Sam backed it. I've backed it. You've backed it. So yeah, there's going to be 3 of us out of the Diary of a Lincoln Geek team that are all going to have a copy of Snapshot.
At least.
At least, yeah. I mean, I just went for the base game. What level did you back it to?
I went for the botanist. So I wanted the solo play and the flora and fauna expansions that allow up to 5 players as well. And then I think, if I remember correctly, Steph was telling us earlier that she's backed the whole hog because they like playmats.
Yeah, I must admit, I like a good playmat, but I was umming and ahhing about it. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen it and hasn't read the review, Snapshot is basically you are a photographer working for a photography magazine, wildlife magazine, and the aim of the game is for you to do your research, travel through different regions and lands, and basically take photos of wildlife. And it's a dice play your odds kind of card management game, and it just plays brilliantly. We all absolutely loved it when we trialed it at Expo. I mean, Martin actually, went out of his way after a very long day, bless him, for a very long day, and come and met us for a pint. We coaxed him with a pint, didn't we? Because we did.
Yeah, we did coax him with a pint. And I would say it wasn't even like it was a big goggles thing. Because the moment we got our hands on it again, it was absolutely amazing, even more so.
Yeah, exactly. And like my wife says, she loves Snapshot as well. So we absolutely rate the game well. We score it 6 out of 6. I think we did.
It's one of the few games that I think all of us agree is definitely a 6 out of 6.
Yeah. So and it's not quite broken records with us, but it's pretty damn close to being one of the top viewed reviews that we've done within the last 6 months.
The only other one that's beating it was Partners, which is unfortunately one of the games that we were hopefully going to talk to Steve about today. But oh well.
Yeah. But what we'll do very quickly, now we've mentioned Steve from Tinstar Games, can you quickly bring up his current Kickstarter that's going to be coming very soon? Because we want to do the obligatory, I know it's fair, because he was supposed to be the guest on our show. But basically, Treasure on Earth is a deluxe supplement for Relics, which is a game that they've previously released. And do go check out their website and pre-sign up if you're into RPGs and tabletop board games, because this is a bonus for that, both before that. And if you backed Relics, then you'll probably want Treasures on Earth. We will try and rearrange hit the live stream with him, and I will be apologizing profusely to the gentleman when he is awake because he's all the way in Australia, hence the time difference. So it's all my fault. It really is. So he repeatedly double checked with me, and I still gave him duff information.
Don't worry, Chris. You'll get it the wrong way around the next month.
Yeah, so it's crazy. But yeah, so check that out, guys. If you're into RPGs. I mean, speaking of RPGs, we've had a few RPGs to review of recent, and Dino Girl is as busy as ever. Bless her. She has a busy day job, and she writes these reviews of RPGs in a free time because they help her relax. So if you're into RPGs, guys, then obviously stay tuned to the site because there's going to be some great ones coming. And if I remember correctly, Apex Legends is one of them.
Yes, so we've got several. There's about 3 which we picked up at Expo that are slowly working their way through the grinder. There's 2 or 3 other old ones that we've all loved, where we've picked up new editions. Yeah. There's a whole host of RPG systems that are making their way through her reviewers' mitts.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
She is she after all is probably one of our favourite RPG players. So.
Yeah, she's the resident RPG expert because let's face it, I haven't done any RPG now for probably about 5 years.
It's also helpful she is in the process of designing her own system as well.
Yeah, exactly, which is really exciting. So hopefully, we might have some exclusives when it comes to that. So we're always excited. She's done a lot of writing over the years as our Dino Girl, though, bless her. She's got a lot of material, and she might have read some of them because they are published on the internet.
Somewhere. I've forgotten where.
I've forgotten where as well, but we're hoping to add a new section onto the website, which leads me to it. It's not going to be live just yet because we're going to be launching a competition alongside it when it does become live. So for all you budding writers out there that watches the show and follows us on Twitter and Facebook, etc., we'll have an opportunity to enter into a writing competition where it will be judged, and the winner will basically have their story published and have available on the website for a free download. Along with all the other content that we're going to have available for free download from the site as well. So do watch out for that notification because it's going to be coming in the next couple of months, hopefully all being well and good, depending on how well house moves go and things. So it could be 3 months, but within the next few months, watch this space.
Yeah. So certainly plenty to be excited over, and lovely everything as we start coming up to Christmas. So I suppose I know the C word already. We're not even out of October. Oh,
yeah.
How dare I mention it? I suppose
exactly.
It'd be interesting. It'd be great for you guys to comment. What game-related gifts are you giving your significant others?
And are any of you struggling to find ideas for board games for significant others for Christmas? And if you are, do say, and we can always give you some suggestions as well. Even if you're watching this on playback, we all subscribed and follow the channel so we all get the notifications.
Indeed. So, yes, I say, what's your favourite game that you've played that's not one of the ones we've already mentioned then, Chris, lately?
Ooh, Solar Storm.
Yeah. I do. I did see them playing that at Expo when I didn't have enough time to get a game in myself, and I must say I have been very jealously waiting to find time that we can actually play it together since you picked up a copy there. And
I did, yes, and it's very good.
We keep having other things take priority. It's like it's always been second best.
It's not like we're running a semi-popular board game web show.
I know it's crazy to think, really.
I know.
I say it's not even just the web shows. There's the web shows, the podcasts, it's the reviews, and when we get the time, actually editing up some of the playthroughs of our live streams for YouTube and.
Exactly.
I think we've got day jobs alongside these things.
Exactly. I don't think we do too bad considering. A lot of these people are out there who do this full time, and I have total and utter admiration for these people that do this professionally full time because, man alive, we struggle doing what we're doing now. But we do it because we also love it, not because it's a struggle.
Indeed. But,
So my wife's like, what do you want for Christmas from your wife and daughter, Mr. Chris? I just want to be in our house.
Alex to put all your games in the new house, I think.
Yeah. Actually, yes. No. Some display furniture. Which is I know the iconic IKEA Kallax furniture for the office.
I wish my background was actually my games room. It's really not. However, the collection, had I not recently donated a large chunk of it away, is probably about getting on for that many games.
Yeah, I know. We just donated some games to Geek Retreat, didn't we, for their board games library?
Yes, which is now over burgeoning, and that they'll probably need a Kallax of their own.
Yeah, they probably will. Yeah. But no, other than just a Kallax, what board game would I like for Christmas? That's tough. But there is one. And I'm trying to remember the name of it for the life of me right now because it's actually based on a computer game.
You mean Monopoly?
No. Don't need any more copies of Monopoly, thank you. And anyone sends us any as a joke, please don't. No. Oh my god, it's gone from my head, but basically there's some really lovely miniatures. Just pack the box of games. Yes, I know you have, but darling. 6 boxes of them as well, and that doesn't include the ones that are in the loft.
I'm saying, is it June by any chance, or one of the June games?
No, but there is a June game that does look very good. But no, it's one based on the computer games. We talked about it a while ago. I was trying to get a copy for a review, but I couldn't get a copy for a review. So I'm going to end up buying it because I wanted to play it that much. Hold that thought. Sorry?
Stellaris?
No, I can't even check the shelf because all the DVDs have been packed away as well.
Yeah.
But dinosaurs, it's robot dinosaurs in back in time. It's gone from my head, and Steph's going to be watching this back later, shouting at at the show, going,
she'll call you and just she'll call you and shout at you, whatever time of day or night it is that she's watching.
She might give me a verbal slap as well, because actually it's gone from my head right now. I'm gonna find it while we're talking, because it's gonna absolutely bug the hell out of me now. Man, it's a PS4 game as well.
Yeah. Well, I would say one of the Christmas presents, I think we have, I know we've already talked about it loads, but it's actually Snapshot that it is a Christmas present to ourselves because actually they've really thought it through and they are going to, assuming that nothing major happens, they have accounted for most things. And for UK backers, you should be able to get Snapshot delivered in time for Christmas. No lengthy waits for that Kickstarter. So do feel free to go and check it out and get your own copy.
I must admit,
Christmas present.
I'd have to agree with that because I'm impressed that they're aiming to have it completed and out to people by Christmas.
In the UK.
In the UK, I'm afraid, but that's still impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when they're redesigning some elements as well, because they've made the box smaller as well.
Yeah, I think some of those things have been in the works since June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
No, we did have discussions about all those redesign elements at the expo with him, so they've had a while to work on it. So. But yeah, no, I think the other one which we've had for a couple of weeks now, and we need to decide who's actually doing the review for that one, don't we? Is actually from the guys at Stone Sword.
Yes.
They've got an upcoming Kickstarter soon, which I think, again, a good number of us might be backing because of how much we enjoyed their game when we played.
Yeah, very true. Yes, Senjutsu does look very good.
It looks stunning.
Yeah, no, it really does. If you like samurai and sparring games, miniature based, then Senjutsu is definitely something that people need to check out.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot when miniatures get you so excited that you actually want to paint miniatures again when you've not painted them for 16 years.
My wife's making a joke saying we want all of the Monopoly games for Christmas. No, we do not. No, I don't get me wrong. I like Monopoly when it's played correctly, but not the different amount of themed games that are just available. It's crazy.
I would say not this again. We discussed this to death in over several podcasts already. If you want to hear Chris go on about Monopoly, check out the podcast. We have a lot of healthy discussion about Monopoly.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Leak. I do not want the 24 DVD board game.
However, the Monopoly has at least got Battlestar Galactica out of the podcast, which has been quite interesting, because getting Dan to shut up about the Battlestar Galactica is always quite a challenge.
Yeah, but you've just mentioned it now.
This isn't the podcast. The rules don't exist.
I might have to change the rules to include the live show as well.
I can't help it if Dan and me are basically carbon copies of each other, and that we both love hidden traitor games.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. It is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of hidden traitor games that you guys both like. I mean, how many of you guys not now? Dan, you are always welcome to come and join us and talk about it. Come on, Dan. Come on. You've got the link. If you're not, we'll send it to you.
But yes, no, I've actually not got that many, mostly because I don't need them. Dan has them for me. But between us, I think we've got well over 20 different hidden traitor games.
Oh, I dread to know. Dread to know how many. No, we're not getting Friends and Care Bears Monopoly. Oh my God, my wife's obsessed. If there is a Friends version of Monopoly, we would love to have it to review, as well as a Care Bears version of Monopoly. We'll have that and review that as well. So go on, send us it, and I'll do a review. In fact, I will even talk about them live on the show. How about that? Maybe. You only have 6. That's enough. For anyone who can hear, that is my wife in the background, who is obsessed with Monopoly. But that's not a bad thing. I like the game when it's played right. You've got to use the bidding rule, and then you can still play the game in under an hour. Here we go. Speak of the devil, here he shall appear. Hello, Mr. Leaky.
You mentioned
I mentioned 3 words and he appears.
Yes.
You say Battlestar 3 times in the mirror, and I appear. That's what happens. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hey, not bad. Thanks yourself.
So, Chris, you're still learning about time zones. Is that correct?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, everyone else is not. It couldn't come on short notice.
To be fair, I think it's actually one of those things of our success has kind of run away with us, that we forgot that it's not just quaint little English companies that make board games, and that we've actually started getting international appeal.
We have expanded beyond our humble Lincoln beginnings, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we have indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I managed to get the toddler to sleep, and I popped on, and I thought you said Battlestar 3 times, and that makes me appear. So here I am. So
crazy. So Dan, other than Battlestar, what games have you been playing recently?
I think we've got
it's been a while since it's been on these shows. What's the report?
I think it's almost time to mention what we played last night. We started playing game of Uprising last night. That was very good.
Yeah, we played Uprising with one of the creators of the game as well. He taught us through it on Tabletop Simulator. It was really good. That's definitely a game to check out.
About halfway through a game that we are.
Yeah. It's just
got
big
very
game,
tense.
but I imagine it's just because we're all new. We didn't know what we were doing. That's probably what added a lot to the length. But yeah, it's a brilliant theme as well.
Yeah, it's
the artwork's amazing. The characters are all great. It's very tense. I love it. I'll talk more about it later once we've actually completed the game, probably though.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think of what other big game we've probably played recently. Probably Nemesis. Have you guys talked about Nemesis much on here?
No, we haven't mentioned Nemesis yet.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it, George? You were part of that.
Yeah, I would say Nemesis is I would say we talked about it in so much as it was I had an ooh shiny moment and bought physical version for my birthday present to myself before I. Well, at least that was my excuse to the missus.
Yeah, well, I think we played it. Wasn't it for my birthday? We played it virtually.
Birthday, but yeah.
Oh, your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, we played it virtually. We played it virtually for your birthday. We
virtually,
played it
physically for yours.
Physically for mine. Unfortunately, you weren't there for that one. That was it.
And that's a wonderful thematic game. That's completely any resemblance to Aliens is strictly coincidental.
There is definitely no IP infringement. Disney, there is no need to set off the lawyers.
There is no aliens. They are intruders. Completely different. Such a great game though. It really feels like Alien though, doesn't it? The atmosphere is amazing. Like I think I was you get like an objective, you can get like a kind of a sort of kind of friendly one or kind of a selfish one, and it's up to you which one you want to go for. And I picked the scientist guy, and I had like the objective to study the egg and then just get off the ship. Doesn't matter about anyone else. So I wanted to be like the evil scientist guy. But then everyone was playing together so well, we were really struggling to survive for everything that's going on. I actually felt so guilty. I then decided to help them instead. So I actually had like a little crisis of conscience in the game.
Brilliant.
which doesn't happen that often. But obviously it ended in my demise because I got infected and I escaped the ship, but then I had a chest burst to pop out. So close. But yeah, it's a very tense game. A lot of fun.
Yes, very good fun indeed.
Yeah, it's so thematic as well. Like you were playing the Android, weren't you?
Yeah, we were testing out some of the expansion material.
And there's just some little details, like most of us were humans, so we could heal with med kits or we can eat food to gain health back. George couldn't do that. He had to find duct tape. He had to like actually stick himself back together because he's a robot. It's just so many nice little touches like that. Yeah,
it was brilliant, really cool.
I even played solo mode. I even played solo mode.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it was very tense.
I was going to say there is definitely no resemblance to a certain franchise there at all, is there?
Of course.
Not at all.
Definitely
not at all.
None whatsoever.
Totally distinct. Trying to think what else I got. I think George got me Flashpoint for my birthday. Thank you, George. I've been playing that on Steam.
Yeah, you got me Scythe for mine. I still yet to make it through the tutorials because I've been so busy.
Scythe's pretty good. Yeah, I look forward to a game of that with you. Might need to do a review of that, the digital version. Did get a birthday present from you, Chris? Just saying.
You sort of got a birthday present.
You not get it
from him. You got the lovely terraforming Mars Ares expedition, didn't you?
Oh, what an idiot! Oh, is that class as my? Okay, I'll let you off then.
I was going to say I did send you something. I'll have to double check on that now. Yeah,
am I being incredibly ungrateful?
I don't know. I'm going to have to double check check my Steam account.
If you sent me something and I've forgotten, then I'm very sorry.
I'm certain I had. I will double check.
It's just meant to be a throwaway joke. I probably owe you something for your birthday as well, because we've got quite similar birthdays, haven't we?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If you haven't got me anything and I've not forgotten to you, we'll just call it quits. How's that?
Call it quits. Yeah.
For anyone who isn't, for anyone who isn't familiar with Nemesis, this is what Nemesis looks like. It's a nice big box game with lots of alien-based miniatures. It's a great game. The only tiny bit of it I didn't like was there's a bit of dice rolling involved, but other than that, it's a great game. And for a hint for my wife, if she is stuck for what to get me for Christmas, this is what I would like for Christmas. This is the board game of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it keeps disappearing off screen. There you go. So,
well, if you want fight your moderator.
Well, I didn't realise you'd known I'd spotted that I'd done it. So no, I didn't get a chance to get a review copy of this because I think we just got in a bit late for it, which is a shame because it does look very good and the miniatures look stunning.
Have you played? Are you a fan of the video game, then, Chris? Have you played that?
Yes, I love the video game. Got it on PS4.
Very good, isn't it? It's brilliant.
It's very good. Yeah.
I'll be very interested in that game as well. I've got kind of a soft spot for video games that turned into board games.
Okay, well, you'll like Megapulse then.
Yeah.
While it's not completely based on a video game, it's very similar to
very inspired by Wipeout. Yeah, I listened to your podcast. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like Mario Kart crossed with Wipeout.
Yeah, excellent.
That definitely ticks a lot of boxes for me.
Mm.
I played another one based on a video game, which is pretty good. It's called BioShock Infinite, the board game.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I might need to do a review for that because it's quite original. Because you don't actually play as the hero in the game; you play as the villain factions. Because in the game, there's two warring factions, and then the hero's kind of stuck in the middle of it in the video game. But in the board game, you play as one of these warring factions, and you're trying to basically beat the other faction. And then this hero just keeps coming up and messing up all your plans. It's really funny. And if you manage to kill the hero, he just respawns because he's a video game character.
Nice. Love it.
Which is just a really nice touch, I thought. Yeah,
brilliant.
Quite fun.
That's just nuts.
Speaking of board games based on video games, what about? I would love to see a board game version, and someone can probably go ahead and do it now, and they can steal my idea. That's fine, but I would love to see a board game version from the Nathan Drake games, the Uncharted games. I can imagine that being turned into a board game really quite well. So
that's kind of it's a modern Indiana Jones, isn't it? That could easily be a treasure finding game. That'd be a lot of fun.
I could see it working, yeah.
Yeah, because the film's coming out.
I'm feeling like it could be like a series of like the escape room games.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a similar game called Fortune and Glory. Might have to recommend it to you, which is basically based on Indiana Jones.
Fortune and Glory, yes, of course. He says that in the film, doesn't he? Fortune and Glory, Indy Jones.
Fortune and Glory, which is kind of fun. It's by the same people that made Last Night on Earth, kind of the B movie kind of zombie game. They did a
I'll say it's it's his own wonderful pulp game that one. I say I've had my eyes on that one for a while, but it's sort of always been very much. I'll say it's just always been second best for me because there's always been something else that's just been new and shiny that I've not gone back to the old classics like it.
Hi there, Nick. Thanks for
Thank you, Nick, for the comment.
Yeah, that's always nice. So one of our competition winners, actually, ironically, he won a lot of games in that competition. There were some great games in that.
Yeah, there was. I say it's gutted that we couldn't enter it ourselves.
I know, but that would be a bit of an oversight. If that was the case, that'd be very unfair. Little bit unfair, but yeah, no. I think of recent, we've had some corking games being sent to us to do reviews, and I think we've all done well. And we're very thankful to the publishers that want us to review their games. So thank you very much to all the publishers that have sent us games this year. Okay, I'm probably preempting here, but we're looking forward to receiving even more games in 2022 because next year is going to be year of Diary of a Lincoln Geek because we are going to be producing our own board game.
At least if we ever get time to actually get it through playtesting.
We will. We're getting there.
It's these pesky day jobs getting in the way, guys.
I know. But no, it's making progress. We know we're not going to be talking about the theme of the game just yet, but we are making progress.
Surprise, isn't it?
Yeah. So it'll be a nice surprise when we start to tease content out to the community, and hopefully people will embrace it and hopefully really enjoy it. But like I say, there'll be stuff coming. So
I'll say there's some good feasible alpha rules in the works.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in helping us play test it when we get a bit further down the line, do make sure to register your interest on the website and get involved.
Yeah, I'll happily be. I haven't been involved that much in the development, so I'm going to be objective and help with the testing. So that's the plan. Yeah.
All right, and we've got our guest on stream now, so we will say hello to Mr. Steve Dee. Greetings, can you hear us?
Hi, Steve.
Yes, I can. Hello.
Hello, how are the devil are you?
Not too bad. Am I late? I think I'm terribly late.
No,
I think actually you're just on time for when
No.
Chris told you to. He's just he doesn't understand this thing called daylight savings time, British summertime.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Well, I'm really
I
sorry.
was worried.
He shouldn't be
I was
left
worried. That's all right.
unsupervised. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. But well, it means we can have a chat with you for half an hour. Though you look like you've just woken up, bless you. Please tell me you have coffee.
I have indeed. As time zones are not fun. Yep.
Excellent. That's good. How are you anyway?
Ready to go. Yeah, not too bad. Still in lockdown over here, but we're managing and we're coming out soon, hopefully.
it's good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I can imagine one of our fellow reviewers, actually, who's in your neck of the woods, Julius. He'll probably still be asleep. So yeah, but Julian is, it's like I say, he's just recently joined and he's working on a review at the moment. So hopefully that'll be coming online very soon. But obviously in the meantime, we're talking about you and what you've been doing. I mean, it's been a while since we reviewed Partners. How's it gone?
Great. We are finally shipping out the copies. So if you're all our Australian backers should have them by now, and international backers should have them in the next couple of weeks. All going well with shipping, but it was we basically we are done with. We've provided everything that we've said we would. We've got the physical copies out. They look great. I've got a copy around here somewhere. Hang on.
Oh yeah, go on. Let's see it.
Yeah. So they look really good. They look really different too. They look these tiny little books. But we're really happy with that. Whoops, wrong way.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah,
and
it's ironically.
It's been really well received. So.
Well, fantastic. I mean, ironically, we were talking about some of our personal best reviews, and ironically, yours is still up there with one of the most read reviews that we've had on Diary of a Lincoln Geek, which is fantastic because it's always nice when you've got people who are into something and they follow through and read a review from someone. And I know Steph, Dino Girl, really wanted to be online. But unfortunately, real life day job kind of took over, and she was really gutted she couldn't be on the show to talk to you and meet you. I'm afraid, so I'm very sorry. But you've got us three instead.
No, I was very flattered by her review, and it came at just the right time. And we got very lucky with the Kickstarter. We got picked up by a few pieces of press as well. It just made it go really crazy. We everything came together, and your review was right on time, and she got the concept really well and enjoyed it, and and we weren't sure how it was going to be perceived because it is kind of different to most RPGs in many ways, and there's always that sense that like people just go, well, it's not really a role-playing game or something, and just not be interested.
I can imagine. For anyone, obviously we know about it because we've all read the review that Steph did. But do you want to explain to people what about Partners is about? I mean, obviously I know it's out at the moment and people can still buy it. Yes.
Yep. There are still copies available. If you just go to the Kickstarter link or our website, you can order it. Fantastic. Yeah. So Partners is a role-playing game that's specifically designed for 2 players, but it can be played with more. That focuses on the police procedural kind of TV genre. So one player takes the role of the straight shooter, we call them, who's someone who's more serious and more dedicated to the job, who cares about things, and the other player is the wild card, who is more cavalier and does things outside the rules, thinks outside the box, and of course they're teamed up together to solve mysteries. But what I wanted to do...
So it's like a buddy cop movie, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. The buddy cop, classic cliche. And there's so many TV examples, and it's a great kind of format. But it also, then we have a system that explores the mystery genre. So once you've generated your 2 characters, you also generate the rest of the cast, and you play them back and forth. So the 2 players are basically playing the whole cast of your show. but we also use a system where every scene is generated randomly by drawing a card and consulting tables, and using random word generation to just randomly decide where you're going next and what the next clue is. And that means that you're not trying to solve a mystery that the GMs come up with, and you're not trying to do a mystery where you just kind of guess what might be the right solution and what sounds right. You're actually being surprised, both of you, about who did it. And you're never going to know who did it until the last scene of the game, basically, which is a different kind of feel. And the fact that the scenes are generated by the cards means that you're not making your choice of, we're going to go to the scene of the murder again, or we're going to go interview this suspect. You won't know what's the next scene is until you draw the cards, and then you go, okay, I guess we're going over there. Okay, that's really interesting. I wonder what that clue is going to be. Which is, in a sense, taking away player choice and player agency to some people, but it changes the shift of what you're doing in terms of you're now explaining and justifying that choice, which is exactly how all role-playing games work. It just shifts the lens a bit, because if you roll the dice to hit and you miss, then that's still part of that's an unpredictable event that you then have to incorporate into the story. Except now we've sort of pulled that back to be like, this is where the next scene is, and we don't get to choose that, but we then have to roll and go on with that. And I think that's something that's really interesting to me to sort of to play around with, to take that sense of lack of control, instead of putting it after the throw of the sword, or to see if we bribe the guard or convince somebody to do something, and pull it out to like what happens next.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, what was the inspiration behind it then? How did it originally come about?
The original idea came because I was at a convention and I was explaining role-playing games to this lovely old lady who'd never heard of them before, and she was probably in her 60s or 70s. And she's like, I want something to play that I can just play with my husband. And I'm like, okay, well, the only two-player game I know of is Cthulhu Confidential, and then I'm like, okay, now I have to explain Cthulhu to this woman who doesn't really have any kind of cultural keys.
I struggle to explain Cthulhu to people at the best of times.
Yeah,
so well done.
But she seemed, and I was like, what you need is something that you really recognize. And I was like, you know what? I bet you watch a lot of Midsummer Murders or something. So I sat down while I was at the con, and just between demos and waiting to sell copies, I was just started writing down these ideas of like, okay, it has to be for 2 players and it has to be a murder mystery. And it just sort of flowed from there. It came out really quickly. Sometimes my ideas just come like that. And by the end of that day, I had like the draft, and took it home and started writing it up.
That's amazing.
That's really cool. Well, I mean, it brings up visions of Starsky and Hutch when I was kind of reading it, and reading Steph's review back however many months ago that was now. I kind of lost track of time. It's
April,
crazy.
It would have been April.
It all blends into one.
Yeah.
Where has this year disappeared to?
Exactly. Where has the year disappeared to? It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's why we're already talking about Christmas presents. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the new one that you guys are working on at the moment, the new Kickstarter that I believe was paused and is now going to be coming back again very soon. Am I right in question that's a supplement to a product that you already have?
That's right. So in 2019, we launched our first main RPG from my company. I've been doing freelance work for years, but as publishing my own game on a much larger scale than some of our smaller itchy games, and it's called Relics, a game of angels. And it also, if you've ever watched Lucifer, speaking of police procedurals, you sort of get the idea. There are angels and demons on Earth. There are magical items, and it's a modern day urban religious fantasy kind of thing. And it did really well. We hit 3 of our stretch goals, and we put out a beautiful hardcover book. We want to do more work for it. And so we're coming back with this supplement, which just has a whole bunch of relics in it, which are the magic items in the game. And it's also, we wanted to do that thing where if you missed it the first time, you can get in and pledge and get the copy, get the RPG. Now that it's a bit more well-known, we've had more reviews and more time for it to get out to markets and things like that. We tried to launch on Monday, but Kickstarter's recently changed how it does add-ons and postage, and it started charging everyone who backed at every level postage, and we went, oh. So, and that wasn't obvious until we hit launch. So after like 3 people backed, we went, oh God, it's doing something wrong. We shut it down, and we're going to hopefully launch tonight, our time. So in about 10 hours from now.
Oh, wow. 10 hours later. Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. There we go. So that's the one. So if you like the idea, the sound of relics, then you can get in on this now, because you'll get this one on top of the original. That sounds fantastic. I actually really like the sound of that. That kind of appeals. I loved Lucifer, and I've been rewatching it.
I need to catch up with some of the latest seasons. I say it was what I say. We got to end of season 2, and it was just like, I think something else just hit our shiny button, and then it's just like, yeah, actually, I do miss that show. It's really good.
I haven't seen it. Maybe I should after this recommendation.
Oh, yeah, it's on. It's really available on Netflix, so do check it out.
Might check it out. Did my research before seeing the game.
Again, we're plugging Netflix. We're not at all sponsored by Netflix. It'd be nice if we were.
If they gave us money, that's great.
Yeah, exactly. So, but great. It's always nice to have a chat with people about their games, because I think while we review a lot of board games, it's nice to talk RPGs and talk about inspiration behind them. I mean, one of the things that we ask a lot of our designers, and I'm going to ask you the very same question, Steve, is from someone who's done more than one Kickstarter now, what would be your tip that you would give to someone who is wanting to maybe do a Kickstarter? I know we've seen a lot of them come to market during lockdown, and the market is kind of flooded with them at the moment, but that's never a bad thing, because you've got a varying selection of games that can appeal to lots of different people. But with that in mind, what advice would you give to someone?
I think the thing that people say all the time is try to bring your audience to the Kickstarter. So you can't just launch and hope that people will come. You have to spend a lot of time building up your audience in advance. And that can be done in lots of different ways. Like, we were lucky that it was well before lockdown. So we went to like 2 years of conventions, running the game, getting the word out, getting our email list increased. So you need to start really early in that process of when I want to launch something, I have to think, at least a year or 2 ahead, and how I'm going to build up our community before that, whether that's, as I say, going to conventions, setting up a web presence, setting up a Discord, setting up things on social media, playing it as much as you possibly can, promoting it in every single way that you can. I mean, you can run advertisement to sort of cover for that, but that's the less you do beforehand, the more you have to spend to get the word out. I mean, the reason we go to Kickstarter is we often don't have a lot of money. So, and nothing beats the personal touch, I've found. That's I mean, we've been trying to get around it with during COVID, but I've found more and more that there's a real connection that you make when you sit down and show a game to someone, that they then go, okay, I see your passion, I see your trust, I see how you understand the game, and I'm taking that away and remembering that. That's something that we've definitely suffered from a lack of. Hopefully,
I totally agree.
Hopefully we've done enough to get the word out about this one, but I'm definitely got that at the back of my mind, that I haven't been able to get out there and really talk to people.
I mean, that's the danger, isn't it? And that's the risk you take. I mean, of course, here in the UK, we're out of lockdown now, and I know you guys have gone back in Sydney. But we're. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm acutely aware. I think you need to disappear, don't you now, mate?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's been great to meet you, Steve. I wish I could stay longer. I wasn't even supposed to be on this stream. I'm a spontaneous guest.
Thanks,
so
Dan.
I will definitely check out your game.
We summoned him like
reinforcements.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It'd be great to meet you, and I'll definitely check out your games. All the best.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Cheers, Dan.
All right, see you in a bit. But yes, I think with the Kickstarters and the way they've been, going, a lot of people, are kind of building in solo player modes into their board games, and they're making games to be playable, during lockdowns, which is important. But also, people have been going to online mediums like Tabletop Simulator and using Discord for role play. I mean, we've seen the amount of people that now use Discord for running D&D campaigns and other popular role play systems like Star Wars, all even the Aliens one. So you can't really go wrong. So it's great. It's growing in popularity.
Yeah, we have a Roll20 app. So Roll20 is was originally set up to run D&D games and D20 games. So it's roll20.com, and we also have an introductory pack for Relics there, which has the introductory scenario and basic rules and the tarot cards that we use. So you can load that up and have a free test on Roll20. And yeah, role-playing games, as you say, are really good for online because you just need faces most of the time, especially the simpler ones. Like Relics is very simple. It's very dramatic. It's very much based on storytelling, scene by scene. And it's great for playing online. And so is Partners, actually, because Partners is all just two people just sharing notes back and forth. You can even play it, by email and things like that. So,
oh, wow, that's really good to know.
Yeah,
that's really useful.
You just kind of you can do we have the sort of two options where you can really role play it and play out every single scene, or you can just go, okay, this scene's about this, and my character's going to do that, and just sort of step back into that authorial stance where you're just like, oh, this is what this scene is about, and so you can do that in an email. It's like, oh, my character's going to be doing this, and then your character can react. And there's a lot of people who do that kind of what we don't think of as role playing, but there's a real community of people who use sort of fanfic role playing. That's something that I was also thinking about when I was writing this game, where there's people who are just like, oh, right, I'm going to be Spider-Man, you're going to be Iron Man, we're going to tell a story together, and we do it through chats or through logs or whatever. And I think there's all different ways to role play.
Oh, exactly. I think that type of fan fiction RPG is very popular these days. I mean, you see it with all sorts of systems. I mean, ironically, Steph, Dino Girl, who did the review, she's actually done a lot of her own written stories and adventures based on either other shows or inspiration of her own. I mean, I even know she's actually working on her own RPG system at the moment.
Fantastic.
And she'd be absolutely gutted that she's not here to talk to you about it. But I'm afraid to say that we've gone over time, and I think we need to kind of wrap it up. What I would like to do, Steve, is invite you back for another show.
Yes, sure.
At probably another day and another time that's a bit more fitting for yourself, because I know you appreciate you got up really early for us today. But is there anything else that you need us to do in the meantime? Do not hesitate to give us a shout. We'll happily ask Dino Girl to do a review of your new Relics expansion and the base game if you'd like. We're more than happy to do that, of course.
We'll send you a copy, a digital copy of Relics, and the Kickstarter should be running until the end of October, so maybe I can come on towards the end, and we can talk about how it's going and talk some more about Relics.
Yeah, brilliant. We'll do that. We'll arrange that by all means. But again, before we do go, I would like to say again, thank you very much ever so much for turning up against my poor timekeeping and understanding of the time zones again as usual. This is not the first time I've done this. Bad, Chris.
It's all very confusing, and this is a thing that we've all had to suddenly understand a lot better because we're all more online, and we've all gone, no, this is a dumb idea. It's really hard.
Yeah.
We get there in the end.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, we get a lot of rewatch, and something just recently we've been getting a lot of questions through the Discord, and I know you've also got a Discord channel as well. So I will pass the Discord link across to our community. So any of the guys that have got any questions, they can go onto your Discord and ask.
Yep.
But of course, anyone else that's watching the show on Watchback and isn't on our Discord and would like to come on along and have a chat and talk board games, then you're more than welcome to. It's been
I think that might be Chris's mic dying and or his battery dying. So he did kind of say what it was coming to the end of time. But yes, thank you again, Steve, for making it. I say, and once again, our apologies for getting the timings mixed up. We will definitely love to catch up with you again later in the month. And until next time, guys, have a good show.
See ya.